The Sephora Spring Savings event is here. I look forward to shopping at Sephora during the spring and the fall sales every year. Are you with me or are you not? Are you one of those people that just isn't sure about Sephora? People feel all sorts of different ways about shopping at Sephora. I will say this about their sales event, just to be clear, before we even get into any recommendations, and I have a couple tips to share too. One is that the sale is really only worth it if you're a Rouge member. And to do that, you have to have spent a lot of money, a lot. I think it's $1,000 a year with Sephora to receive that benefit of being a Rouge status member and getting a full 20% off. I so wish it was at least 30%, which is a respectable sale. 20% is very questionable to me as a reward for someone that spends a lot of their money at a particular store. And then the next level down is 15% off, which starts after the Rouge gets access to the sale. And then the final one is, I think, called the Insider level, and that's 10% off. So this video serves two purposes. If you are a Rouge member, what's worth the 20% off? And then in general, if you're interested in products from Sephora, this also serves as a general list for you regardless of the sale. I don't think the 15 and the 10% sales, they're okay, but I just don't know that it's a lot to jump up and down about, if that makes sense. So I have a couple of quick tips and I'm looking down at my notes. If you're going to shop the Sephora sale, do it online. Make sure that you have one of those rewards programs set up on your browser. I like to use Rakuten, and it affiliates with a number of retailers that give you a percentage off. That percentage varies from day to day. So like on the day that I'm filming it, if you shop through Rakuten on Sephora, you only get 2% additional cash back. It can go up to 10 and sometimes up to 20% for certain stores. So you kind of have to just keep an eye on that. But anyway, it adds to the amount of money that you get back in your savings account or whatever account you set up to get those funds back to. Whatever percentage you spend. So let's say you spend $1,000. Imagine on the Sephora cart that you fill up and there's a 10% back reward, then you get $100 of that 1,000 back into your account as sort of a reward for shopping through Rakuten. No, it's not sponsored. I wish it was, but it's not. But I use Rakuten for just about everything. The other thing that I would say is that there are certain brands that I like going to Sephora for, but I have to be honest, it's probably better to shop the sales of the direct sites for those brands. The big one that comes to mind is Pat McGrath cosmetics products. She's one of the more expensive lines at Sephora, but quite frankly, you get much better deals on her website when she runs her 30 and sometimes more % off sales, and sometimes site-wide. So I would say, with the few exceptions, skip Pat McGrath, especially the big ticket products like your eyeshadow palettes, and wait for the sales on the site. The other thing that I would say to skip would be brushes, makeup brushes in particular. I don't know that there's the greatest selection of makeup brushes on Sephora. Some people swear by the Sephora brushes themselves. I have a few of those, but I'm a bit of a brush snob. That is one thing I get really snobby about because I've used such a variety of brushes. So my favorites are Refer, which by the way is running a 40% off sale as of the day that the sale on Sephora starts. I don't know how long that 40% site-wide sale is going to go on. Refer makes natural hair brushes, fabulous selection. I love my Sonia G brushes that are also natural hair. I love my Wayne Goss that you can, I don't know if Wayne Goss is selling his brushes anymore, but Sonia G you can definitely get on Beautylish. I think that's the only place you can get them. And then as far as synthetic brushes, I really like the BK Beauty brushes. You can get them only on her direct website, bkbeauty.com. And then I also like Real Techniques. Okay, so those are my disclaimers. The other one quick thing I would say is, as you're looking through the Sephora site and you're thinking about what to take advantage of with this sale, really think about brands that are easier to get on Sephora and harder to get elsewhere. So for me, those are some of the prestige brands that perhaps aren't at Ulta yet, or that I would otherwise have to shop on the direct site for example, Dior products or Chanel products. So getting those through Sephora, there's a benefit to like the ease of getting it all in one place on Sephora and just adding to cart without having to go to all those different websites. Okay, that's 5 minutes in and I have over 50 products to share with you all, so let's get to it. So I thought I would share the product recommendations with you by category, starting with what I use early in the morning through what I use late at night when I take my makeup off and everything in between. So we'll talk about it all in one video. And these are products that I have actually tried myself, so I can share with you that they work for me. So what does that mean? I have oily skin in the middle, normal skin around the edge of my face, and as the day progresses, this area can get pretty oily on me. I do have large pores and I do have textured skin. As you can see here, I have wrinkles under my eyes. You get the idea. So that's the skin type I am working with. So keep that in mind as I'm sharing product recommendations with you. So cleanser in the morning in the shower. I'm a morning showerer. Are you? Do you shower at night or in the morning? People feel really funny about that. I'm a morning showerer. Anyway, I use a drugstore cleanser for my face. I, at this point in my life, don't believe in buying expensive facial cleansers because it stays on the face for so little time and then you wash it down. So I use a CeraVe cleanser right now, and I use an exfoliator, and that I do think is worth spending a little bit on if you're interested in a really finely milled one. My beloved Amore Pacific enzymatic peel rice, like it's not rice, but it has the texture of that. It's a powder cleanser. I mean, a powder exfoliant rather. Did I say cleanser or exfoliator? I've moved on to exfoliator. It's no longer sold at Sephora. I don't know if it's sold anymore, if I have to go to the Amore Pacific site. I have a backup, but I can recommend, and I'm going to break this open, and I have used this before, Tatcha, the rice polish deep. First of all, the packaging is really quite pretty, and this is a fine level rice, like crushed rice, enzymatic exfoliator that you can use in the shower. You mix it with a little bit of water to make like a paste and exfoliate to get your face prepped for makeup. Coming out of the shower, then my skincare routine is that I have started to use an essence on my face as of this fall. I can recommend Tatcha the essence. I'm nearly done with this. In fact, should I re-up on this? I have like a Kiehl's essence waiting. Listen, let me pause and say I purchased a ton of skincare at the last Sephora sale. So my cart was very thin this time because I've got a lot of leftover, but I may repurchase this one. So that sort of preps your face for additional products. And then I can't recommend highly enough this Clarins Double Serum, Hydric and Lipidic System Treatment Complex. Like an anti-aging treatment complex. I don't really know the technology behind it. It has two barrels. There's a barrel in the middle that has one fluid and then something on the outside. So it's a mixture of an oil and like a watery fluid that you pump out. You can change the intensity of what comes out here. There's lots of botanicals and whatever. I don't really even understand all the benefits that are in here. What I can share with you is that this is a really hydrating serum to put on your face after showering and cleansing your face and before you put your makeup on. This is excellent makeup prep. It almost serves as a primer on its own, but this, I feel, keeps my face hydrated and juicy throughout the day. And then in terms of moisturizers, there are two that I have been using on and off. One is my beloved Paula's Choice Resist Youth Extending Daily Hydrating Fluid. It has SPF 50, which is part of the attraction for me. It's a moisturizer and an SPF all-in-one. That's one that I use if I'm going to be applying heavy makeup and I want it to be matte. I don't want a lot of shine coming through, but that has been an old faithful. It's a thinner formula. And as we're going into the summer months, I am temporarily switching out to this one, which I have gone through a bottle of. This is the second one. The SuperGoop Play Everyday Lotion, also with SPF 50. This one is thicker and it's a much more luminous look on your skin. It's almost like a thick serum that sits on your skin. It takes a long time to sink in. I don't know why that pleases me, but it does. And on days that I want to be juicy and glowing, today is one. I'm wearing this today. It's a great foundation, like primer, rather, for your foundation is what I meant to say. So I will layer these things up. I have no problems with that. And I have this on today and I have that over it. I did use the essence before all of that. Anyway, that's a nice set of layers. Of course, if you're going to add all those layers, keep the layers thinner rather than thicker and wait in between for them to settle down before you pack them all up. So then we get ready for the actual makeup application. Did I already share that I'm limiting myself to no more than 2 products per category? And we still have over 50. I mean, I could share with you like 200 products or more that I just love from Sephora. But so let's move on to primer, face primer. And yes, I have one of these on today, even after all those layers. Some people might think that's excessive. I don't care. I love it and it works for me. Two primers that I can recommend. There's a lot from Sephora that I love, but one is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, and it looks like this. This provides a little bit of a sticky base, and it dries quickly on the skin for when you want a grip. Exactly what it does. It kind of grips your foundation. So I can highly recommend that. And if you would prefer something that's maybe not as grippy and is more about blurring out imperfections on your skin to create a flatter surface or a more matte surface, if you will, for your foundation to lay on top of, like if you have large pores, on days when I want to blur these pores out, a foundation that I can highly recommend and is worth the money is the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. Looks like this, and it does do a nice job of giving just the slightest airbrush effect to those areas of your face to give you like a canvas to apply your foundation onto. So then in terms of eyeshadow primers, which I think are just as important in some cases as your skin primer, you can use concealer for your eyeshadow primer. That's totally fine, and it's not going to be a problem. If you want a bit of a more flawless look and a more long-lasting look, because concealer can break down over time, the MAC paint pots are unrivaled. I have used Painterly, the color Painterly, in the past, and I have also used this one called Soft Ochre. I am not going to actually open this because I haven't used it yet, and these dry out. The last ones I had about 4 years before. That's way too long. Shh, don't tell anyone. But I used them the entire 4 years before they really started to dry out. But every time you open the top, it dries out like ever so slightly, and it leads up to it kind of cracking over the years. But they'll last you years is the point. And you just tap that on. It provides like a waxy base for your eyeshadow to go onto and grip to. But I have this one now, and I have used Painterly before. I also have the color Laying Low, which is a little bit more of like a nudie flesh tone, at least for my skin tone. I can also recommend as an eyeshadow primer, this is what I have on today, lightly. I did not apply this heavily, the Anastasia Eye Primer, because this stuff is very white. You see, I just put, look how opaque and thick that is. So you want to just pat that out and then use that, especially if you have bright colors that you're using on your eyes. This is a good one. Like pastel colors or colors that you really want to pop out and be bright. This is a good one to use. I forgot to mention a primer for the skin. So can I go back? Can I rewind just a second? Because I really like this. It is the Natasha Denona Hygen Skinglass Energizing and Hydrating Primer Serum. How many words did Natasha Denona stuff into this name? This stuff, you see how shiny it is? It's a primer. I have this all on. Can you believe this? I have this on even over this to add even more dew and glow to my face today. So this stuff it's beautiful. You can use this alone as a primer. I literally doubled up on primers because I'm crazy. And then in terms of concealer, which would be the next step for me, I can't stress highly enough this Rare Beauty. I think it's called an under eye enhancer or something like that. This is in the color medium. It comes with this kind of applicator, which is, it's metal. It's a metal applicator. Anyway, I put that under my eyes and I tap it out. And really all it does is like reflect light back. So it makes it appear that my under eyes are lighter than they actually are. I do have, tone under my eyes. Two concealers I can highly recommend that are, there's a lot of great concealers that you can buy through Sephora. One is the Dior Forever Skin Correct. This is in 2N. I have 3N for when I'm more tanned. This is what I'm wearing now, and it's fantastic. Oh no, excuse me, I'm wearing this one, the Teint, the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. These are the two that I would recommend, and this one is in the color 260, or is this what I have on? I have one of these on, and I can't remember, but they are natural. They look close to your skin texture. Like with any concealer, I'm at an age where, as you see, I have a lot of crinkles and whatever. I put it on, I let it settle, and then I tap it out again, because I do get it in my fine lines. It doesn't matter what concealer I use. It's going to crease a little bit and it gets in my fine lines, but these do less than others. And once I tap them back out that second time, they tend to stay put in that new position and last pretty long. I don't remember which one I wore. I have one of these on today and they're both good. Highly recommended. So let's go next to foundation. Y'all, I'm a foundation junkie. I love a good foundation. I love drugstore foundations and I love luxury foundations and everything in between. Everything in between. Two that I can highly recommend. And this was hard because there's a lot of really, really good ones, but these are kind of old faithfuls that just never fail me. The Forever Skin Glow from Dior. So you just saw the matching concealer. This is in 3 warm olive. I have 2 colors of this. I adore this stuff. It is one of the most natural skin-like foundations that just doesn't give you any fuss or muss and lasts through a good workday. Maybe not way into the night. Like you're not going to end up clubbing with this if you put it on first thing in the morning, but it'll take you through the workday. And it's one of those where people won't really see that you have foundation on because it blends in so nicely. Another one that if you use lightly blends in nicely, and this is what I'm wearing today. I do this to my foundations all the time, you guys, because I have so many. Mix them up. But this is the Armani Luminous Silk foundation. This is in the color 5. I have 5.5. I have 6, which is more olive toned for when I'm a little bit more tanned. This is a great foundation. As you see, it's very, I mean, can you tell I have foundation on? Maybe you can. I, looking in the camera, cannot tell myself. I mean, I can tell I have makeup on, but I can't really exactly see the foundation. So this one is a nice one. And I would also just cheat a little bit and add like an honorable recommendation. Gosh, there's so many. I wish I could tell you about 15. But the Haus Labs foundation. This is the Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. Long name. Excellent if you want a very sort of light, maybe medium if you build it up, but a lighter coverage foundation for those of you that don't want to look made up and cakey all day long. So these are great. And these also allow sort of your natural skin texture to be apparent. Like it's not going to blur you out. If you want that, I'd say go for something like the Estee Lauder Double Wear, which is a tried and true full coverage foundation. And I have that too, and I love it. Moving on to setting powders, my top 2 recommendations this year. Again, so many fantastic powders. Hourglass. Hourglass. No brand anywhere beats Hourglass in the powder category. They have the most finely milled exquisite powders. This is the translucent setting powder, the Veil translucent setting powder. That is a staple in my collection. Wore it on my wedding day. Very natural looking. I put ever so light amounts on my face, up here, a little bit over the bridge of my nose this morning. But remember, and I look oily. Why? I have all those products layered on to give me that dewy look. So this just helped take away maybe the excessively oily look, and that's fine by me. So y'all, I need to get my hair colored. My little grays are showing here. Y'all don't care. The Huda Beauty powder. This is in Pound Cake. It's the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder Pound Cake, and it smells so good. I have another color too that I can't remember, but these are really great. This is a little bit heavier in texture than this one that is really finely milled, and that's totally okay. Looks beautiful. Very nice blurring powder. Let's move on to bronzer, which is what I would typically apply next. Again, I'm a foundation junkie. I'm also a bronzer junkie. I have bronzer upon bronzer, and I want them all. I want all the bronzers everywhere in my drawers. 2 that I can highly recommend, which are natural looking, okay, and they're just not dramatic bronzers. This is the Gucci Eclat Soleil Poudre de Beauté Eclat Soleil. They come in different colors. Well, they should come in different colors, right? This is the color 3, which I think is a really nice golden color. It's not the one I have now. The compact is nice. It comes with a mirror, and then it also opens to give you a little brush, which is, I never use those, right? So anyway, it's a bit of a thick component, but it's nice, right? And the other one that I would recommend, I had to really think about this. This is what I have on today, just sort of very lightly dusted around this perimeter of my face, a little tiny bit on the sides of my nose, and a little tiny bit under, very, very lightly. And that's why I want to feature this. For those of you that just want a little bit of warmth to your face, let me say I haven't self-tanned in a couple of weeks, so you can see just how pale I actually am. Like, this is my natural skin color here. There you go. I'm almost cool toned, and then I self-tan, and that gives me a warm glow. Like, there you go. That's the color of my natural skin. Anyway, it's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. Here's why I want to recommend this. I don't know that I would repurchase this, but I really like this. I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to repurchase it. First of all, the component is huge. You can see, you know, just how large it is. So it allows you to put a very big brush in. You get a huge pan. What I do like about this is it applies ever so lightly on your face. This is for like a work thing. You know, you're not trying to like use your bronzer to actually do any kind of cutting or shading. You just want a little bit of warmth on your face, like a little bit, a little bit. Okay. What I don't like about this is that this, you see this? I'm moving that around. You can't see that, but I'm moving that around with my finger. That part is removable and you can actually replace it when you run out of that. So if that's important to you to have, you know, some sort of sustainable packaging, then maybe think about that. The reason I don't like that is when I swirl my brush in it, because I usually tend to go around and around, the thing moves around with it and it bugs the heck out of me. So I find myself patting my brush more than swirling. I'm just, look, that's how nitpicky I am because I have so many bronzers, but the bronzer formula itself is fantastic. Let's go on to eyeshadow. Like I said, get your Pat McGrath eyeshadows elsewhere, y'all. You can't get your Natasha Denonas here, although I will say if you're patient, typically those shadows will go on sale on her site, and sometimes they'll show up half price if they're being discontinued or the sales of them are slow or whatever. I recommend almost all Natasha Denona palettes. The only one I would say maybe is not worth exploring is the Zendo palette. The Zendo palette. All of the others are fantastic. So that's a given, but let me talk about some others that you should think about in this particular sale. One that is a recent love, and I have it on my eyes today. Doing. It's this Anastasia Nouveau palette. Everything from the packaging, which I love. I love this little gold detail. I love that it's gold around here. Like it's a very well thought out package, lightweight and slim. But look at this color story. This is so pretty to me. Yes, it has that, excuse me, random lilac shadow in there, but which I haven't used yet, to be fair. But like, look at how beautiful the rest of that is. I mean, this is beautiful too. Look at that. Really pretty pastel color. But anyway, I have, what colors do I have on? I think I have this one on the outer edge. I'm not even gonna go through all that. I have a bunch of these shadows over on this side on. That's not the point. The point is these are some of the most buttery textures. They're so like in a tactile way, fun to play in and swipe. So good. Oh, they're beautiful. I adore this. And I'm thinking about getting the other one that's called like the Rose Metal or something that's just like that came out last year also. It has a more metallic cover on it. So those, and the other two, these count as one. I know I said only two per category, but these count as one. They are the Patrick Ta Dimension palettes. So the packaging looks like so, very reflective. You get the, look at the outside. Can we spot an owl out there? Anyway, I love that this is such a nice neutral and some warm tone colors that really anyone can use. Any skin tone, from the lightest, palest to the most chocolatey skin tones. These are cream colored here, and then a cream colored. These are cream formula. You put those down and you don't have to use those, but if you want to, you can put those down and then put any of these over them for like additional sticking power and base. But I find these very easy to use, and also it's a great formula. So there's that one, and then the Dimensions 2, which is similar in packaging, except it has this, you know, surround on it. Not that anybody cares about that, but this color story is more rosy and pinky. Also comes with the two cream shades there if you want to add sticking power and depth to your look. Every time I use these, I enjoy them. So I would highly recommend all of those palettes, these two and the Anastasia Nouveau one. Then next, if I'm using it, I would typically apply an eyeliner. I don't have an eyeliner on today. I didn't want one. It was a light work day. I didn't have a lot of meetings, so I didn't feel the need to get like super zhuzhed up. But I would highly recommend the Natasha Denona Work and Set gels. They have been so easy to use. This is the one in black. I use a little brush. It has to be a tiny brush. Dip it in there and it sticks and stays all day. This brown colored one is also beautiful over or under the eyes. Then I come on to mascara next, or go on to mascara next. I always curl my lashes, always, with an eyelash curler. I have two faithfuls. Everybody has their favorite mascara formula, and I have tried other ones, but I always come back to, this is one Pat McGrath one I may reorder in this sale, the Pat McGrath Dark Star Mascara. I just adore the wand on this. This is what I have on my eyelashes today. I prefer an Hourglass wand. That works best for me. Each eyelash type needs a different wand. So you have to experiment. I'm not an expert, but try them in the drugstore, see what wand you like, and then you can figure out what formula makes sense for you. This one is a little bit of a drier formula. And then as far as a wet formula, it's the Monsieur Big from Lancome. I haven't opened this yet. This is a new one waiting for me. I've gone through tube after tube of this. So I'm finishing this one up before starting this one. But it's the same wand except a wetter formula that gives me even more volume on my eyelashes if I want them to appear really thick. Next, I typically do my eyebrows, and I have 3 recommendations here. I'm cheating again. This one, you have to really enjoy doing eyebrows because it's a fussy pencil to use. It's the Huda Beauty Balm Brow Micro Pencil. It's really, really tiny. You can see, there you go, really, really tiny little pencil point. And if you're not patient and you're not gentle, it will break off a lot. But if you are patient and you are gentle, it does yield a really nice fine line result on your eyebrow. I felt a little bit lazy today, and on those days I used the Anastasia Brow Wiz, which, not that side, you want to see this side. It's a bit of a thicker point. This is, I think it's called chocolate brown, and a little bit has worn off because I've wiped my eyebrows all day as I worked, but I think it really fills in the brows nicely and is it's a creamy enough formula to be easy to use, but dry enough that it actually sticks if you're not like me and constantly fussing with your face. So I've gone through tube after tube after tube of this. I would also recommend, if you like a brow pomade, actually I'm going to cheat and tell you about 2 more products. The Anastasia pomade this is the Dip Brow Pomade. This is the color Caramel. No, I don't have this on right now, but if you have a really fine eyebrow brush, it can also give you nice volume without looking fake if you find the right color. And then the Anastasia Brow Gel. Any of them in whatever color works for you, I would highly recommend. So I'll move on then to blush and then lips. For blush, look, Sephora does 30% off on their own products, Sephora branded products. There are a lot of beautiful blush formulas. I can't go over them all, but the Sephora brushes, this is in the color Peach Blossom. I like that it gives you 2 colors in one. So you can mix them up, or you can go for the darker side or the paler side, you know, so you can almost get like 3 blushes in one. The other blush, and this is what I have on today, this is in the color Peach, and this has a lot of fingerprints, but the Laura Mercier blushes, I like the compactness of the actual, you know, components, whatever, the packaging. It does have a little mirror, and here's what the powder looks like. It's a drier formula, but it goes on nicely. It's a very natural looking blush, and I love that they have a huge range of shades for all skin tones. So that's one that I would advise. Moving on then to lips, I have 2 lip liners. I usually start off with a lip liner. I do have this one on today, although my lip situation has faded because I've had cans, you know, like of my favorite ginger ale, diet ginger ale, y'all. I'm like in love with that right now. The Huda Beauty Lip Contour 2.0. This one is in the color, I think, Terracotta. I have 2 different colors, Terracotta and Warm Brown. Very easy and creamy to use. This is not what I'm wearing today, but I would highly advise those, especially for people that don't like to sharpen their pencils. This is an excellent one. It just twists up. This you do have to sharpen, but is worth it. And it's the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil. I have 2 colors. This is Anywhere Caffeine that I'm using today. Anywhere Caffeine. I think I have Wherever Walnut also. This is drier. The Huda formula is thicker and creamier. This one tends to stay a little bit longer on the lips. The Huda one, if you're eating greasy food and stuff, can wipe off a little easier, but it's just a creamy, easy to use formula. Then I usually will apply a lipstick. Lots of fantastic lipstick formulas. We don't have time to talk about them all. What I'm wearing right now is one of my favorite formulas, and that's the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. I Need a Nude line. All of them are fabulous. It's a nice creamy formula. This one is called Andrea. I have had it on since 7-ish this morning, and it is probably between 5 and 6 right now. But it's just so, look at that. Nice and opaque and creamy and easy to use. Just really a high quality formula. The other high quality formula that I want every color of, it's the Gucci matte lipsticks. There's a velvet lipstick line. I think there's another one. All of them are great. This one is in the color They Met in Argentina. One of the prettiest colors. Look at this. So this is more about formula than color, but I wanted to share. You cannot go wrong with these. These are excellent formulas, the Natasha Denona and the Gucci one. Then if I'm in the mood, I will put a lip gloss on. And two that I would recommend, the Pat McGrath lip glosses are amazing, but get those on the sale on her site. The Lip Maximizer Hyaluronic Lip Plumper from Dior. This is a little bit of a sheer formula with a little bit of tint to it. I do that. And I like how juicy it is. And it does do a little bit of plumping, but quite frankly, I like the formula and I like the light color. Even if you don't have any lipstick on, you just want to put like the sheerest tint of color, that's a good one. The other one that I love is by Mario, and it is the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum. This is in the color Rosewood. I forget the other color, apricot or something. And these are amazing on their own or over lipstick. Juicy. We got juice. Those are really nice. Then I would typically, if I want to put on a highlighter, I don't always do a highlighter. You don't always need a highlighter. But especially if you're like working or whatever, I have two recommendations. One in hand, and that's the Rare Beauty highlighter. This is in the color Accelerate. And I do have this on, although with this lighting, I don't, look at that. I don't, look, there you go. You get the idea. That's, y'all, that's dewy. That's super dewy. There you go. And you can use this too. Just make sure you're using a clean finger on your lips to give that like pouty look. There you go. So the other highlighter that I would highly recommend is any of the strobe light powders in the Hourglass formula. I think you can buy them by singles or you can buy them inside the palettes. So sophisticated, such a sheer, really finely milled formula that blends into your skin like phenomenally. Look, Hourglass does the powders right. Then moving on to setting spray. If you choose to use it, you don't have to. I like to use it. I feel like it's hairspray for my makeup look. I do end up sort of pressing it in to make everything flow together. The Urban Decay All Nighter is what I have on today. Now remember the layers of products that I said that I put on to make this very simple look, by the way. This is not extravagant, but you should see me without makeup. Just kidding. So anyway, this holds everything in place and it really is long lasting. The other spray that I used and then thought I didn't want anymore, and I'm actually craving it again, especially as we're heading into the summer and I'm craving a more dewy look. So I was into like a big matte look before, and this is why I didn't want it. It's the Hourglass Veil Setting Spray. It has like an oily texture to it, and it's one that I would only recommend if you do want like a more dewy look. It's a very expensive setting spray. That's another reason that I wasn't into, buying that completely. But yeah, Veil Setting Spray is what it's called. Hair. I was going to suggest all of these products for your actual hair, but I feel like that's really a whole different video and so dependent on people's hair types that I would, rather not get into all of that. Maybe we can talk about hair products we'll talk about hair products, y'all. But I did want to recommend two styling tools, and they're Dyson, and they are pricey. So if you're looking for something like a big ticket item to really save that 20% on, I am fully in love with my Dyson hair dryer. I'm a believer. This is not the blow dryer that's going to blow your hair all over the place while you're drying it. It's a pretty concentrated stream. It tends to be a little bit quieter of a hair dryer, but it works. And even though you can't see it because it's in a ponytail, my hair, I feel like this has contributed to the sustaining the health of my hair in that it only gets but so hot. It does get hot and it does dry your hair, but it doesn't get astronomically hot. And if you know anything about hairstyling, you don't need your hair to be at like 1,000 degrees. You just need it to dry. This has just enough strength, flow, and power and heat to dry your hair without doing the most. It's doing enough. It's doing enough. And it dries it in no time. I don't know what kind of technology it uses. You can look that up online, but I just wanted to share that this is a big ticket item that's worth getting during the sale, as well as, now this one, you have to enjoy fussing with your hair. because it's a fussy product and it takes a while to get used to. Once you get to know how to use it, it's easy peasy, but it gives people a devil of a time. And it's the Dyson Airwrap. I have this. On the days that I use it, I get nice big hair. I'm into it. I'm into it, and I'm into all of the attachments, but you have to like all that fussiness. If you just want to like wash, set, and go, that's not the one for you. But at that price tag, 20% off makes a very big difference. So the sun is shining like super bright out here all of a sudden. It's like, so hopefully I don't look as washed out as it feels on this end. We are on to the nighttime routine when I'm ready to just take all the makeup off and like put all my moisturizers on and get in the bed. 2 makeup removers that I have used and really enjoy that are great to get in the Sephora sale. One is the Pharmacy Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm. This smells good. If you don't like fragrance, stay away from this one. I don't remember if the Clinique one does. That's the second one. But the Pharmacy one, I remember having a distinct smell, but I love the texture of this. It's just the perfect amount of balm. It's not too thick. It's not too, thin. It's just perfect. And it really does melt all of your makeup away. And I would also advise the Clinique Take the Day Off Cleansing Balm. If you want to get a big tub of that in this sale, that's great too. I forgot to mention, before I even go in with the cleansing balm, I usually remove my eye makeup, or at least, oh my God, ew. Sorry, y'all. Have y'all been watching the gloss like between my lips? That's so freaking nasty. Okay, back to business. Eye makeup removed. I remove my eye makeup before I go in with the cleansing balm, or at least remove a lot of it, because the cleansing balm is very messy and it actually gets your mascara off so you look like a raccoon. I don't need like additional, makeup on my face, including I want to get some of the eyeshadow off is what I'm getting at. My favorite holy grail that I've used for years and have gone through multiples of is the Sephora Waterproof Eye Makeup Remover. This stuff, you see it's 2 different colors, 2 different kind of substances. Shake it up, you put it on a cotton round, get your eye makeup off, and put the cotton round in your laundry to be washed. There you go. Then you can go on with your cleansing balm. The other that I have used recently, and you can see I'm nearly finished with this, that I really have enjoyed is the Lancome. Y'all help me out, my French-speaking friends. I'm going to say Facile, but is it Facile? Whatever, that stuff. Double action eye makeup remover. So this also has, like this one, 2 different substances in it that you mix up into one. This has been fantastic. This is pricey, $16, 50 something dollars or whatever. So take your pick. I'm fine with this one. Some people find it irritating though. Then I would usually go in with an essence, like the Tatcha essence or something similar. And then I would go in with a serum. So a couple of serums that I can recommend for the night that I have just loved. The Sunday Riley Good Genes All-in-One AHA Lactic Acid Treatment. The reason I can't show it to you is because I used up my whole bottle of it, and I have ordered 2 more from Sephora. I placed a Sephora order this morning. I did. As soon as the sale started, I was like, check out. I forgot to use Rakuten though, so I missed out on quite a chunk of change, cash back, because that was a big order. So that's a great one. This one I put on at night and I wake up and I feel like I'm reborn. Like my face looks visibly different. My skin texture feels different. I know you can't change the texture of your skin, y'all. I'm talking about whatever it does to your skin, it makes it look like the texture has been smoothed out. The same is true, but be careful with this one, of the Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow. This is a new one. I've gone through a bottle of this, so this is a fresh bottle waiting for me to use from the last Sephora sale. This one some people can feel a little burn from this. Do not put this around your eyes. Just put it sort of around the other areas. Don't put it near your lips either. It'll burn, okay? But this does a nice, almost like a chemical exfoliant type of a deal. If you want a toner, I forgot to say, sorry, I'm out of order. I really have enjoyed this Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore Tight Toner. Really nice, and it leaves a nice slick on your skin. I would do this before I went in with the essence or the serum. So after cleansing, use this, and then go in with your essence and your serum if you want to. And then in terms of moisturizers, the one that I'm really obsessed with right now, there's a lot of great moisturizers out there. So I'm just gonna, for the sake of time, say the Tatcha Dewy Cream moisturizer is just fantastic. It's a nice, thick emollient formula on your skin, and I think the packaging is so cute. There's an indigo repair cream that Tatcha has too that I have, but I have not used it. It's waiting for me. It's on deck after I finish this one. It comes with the little paddle if you're the kind of person that doesn't like to stick your fingers in and you want to use that to remove the product. I put my fingers right on in the tub and I don't care. So the indigo night cream I can recommend too. I would also suggest stocking up if you use them on lash serums. I think this is sold on Sephora. The Grande Lash MD serum is what I've been using. It helps my little eyelashes that I abuse with mascara and, you know, this sort of thing every night. So, all right. So at night, I do heavy lip moisturization too before I go to sleep. And I have recently two favorites. There's a lot of different lip moisturizers. That's the case with all the categories we've talked about. I really have enjoyed putting on, yes, I know you hear about it all the time, the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. This is in Sweet Candy. It also comes in lots of different, not flavors, but smells, I guess. And I really like that. And I also like to put this on my lipstick, like right in the middle. That's a tip from good old Tati here on YouTube. But I do this sandwich thing that people might think I'm crazy for. I put on the Laneige and then I put on the Tatcha Kissu Lip Mask. I'm almost done with this. I wonder if I should re-up. This one is has a more slip. This one is a little thicker. This one is like thinner, just as moisturizing, but like more gooey, I guess. And then I put this one on again. So I put this down, this on top of that, and then layer it again with this. So it's like a sandwich. My lips are good in the morning, y'all. They stay moisturized all night. Let's jump into fragrances. Are you interested in any fragrances? Let me caution you about shopping fragrances at Sephora. Most of the designer fragrances that you see on the Sephora site can also be found much cheaper on discount sites. I would highly advise checking out fragrancenet.com, FragranceX, theperfumespot.com, jomashop.com, Fragrance by CA. You know, there's a myriad of discounter sites that will sell you designer fragrances legitimately at a cheaper price. Aura fragrances, Aura, like your Aura. Oh, excellent. I get lots of great deals from there. So check those out before you put something in cart. But where Sephora is really good when it comes to fragrances is new releases that they have that you want to get your little sticky paws on, but you can't get them on a discount site yet because they haven't made their way there. That's when you want to add to cart, or if you see a brand that you typically don't see on discount sites. So for example, Boy Smells that I just reviewed on another video on my other channel, Fleur might be one. Well, sometimes Fleur appears on discount sites. The other one I reviewed is Net. So anyway, some fragrances that I can recommend, and two that I would say, you know, if you want to, if they're your style, I don't think I want them. These two were in my cart this morning. Kayali. Yeah. Well, by the way, if you're into Kayali, that's a great place to buy them, because otherwise you can only get them on the Kayali website, the Huda Beauty website, which I don't remember, but you have to get on the direct website. Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato 33. Yes. I tried it in store last week. Adored it. Nice, fluffy, sweet formula. It lasted on me. Some people complain that this doesn't last. Some people think it's not gourmand enough and all those things. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. So that is coming home to me. And also Good Girl Blush, the shoe, the nude blush shoe. Ooh, this one's in the way. This one made it into the cart and will be on the way to me as well. Nice citrus, floral, musky scent. I enjoyed both of these when I tried them, when I sampled them. So, but any Kayali is good to get on there. Good Girl Blush is probably not going to be on discount sites for a little bit. It'll show up there, but not for a while. The other two that are newer releases that are worth picking up if you think you might like them. I tried both of them and I don't know that they're for me. I can't tell you that they smell bad because they do smell nice. The first one is Coconut Sun from Seven Virtues. This was just a little bit too on the generic side for someone like me who has a lot of coconut fragrances. If you don't have any, or if you want to add some to your collection, it's nice. It's very nice. I have, oh, here it is right here. I do have the travel spray of it that I purchased before and it smells good. You know, I can't like super complain about it. Yeah. Okay, but I'm not like wowed by it, but it's still nice. And then the other is Juliet Has a Gun Lust for Sun. Lust for Sun. I thought this is coconut frangipani, and is it sandalwood? If I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking off the top of my head of what the main notes are on that one. So I was expecting a little bit of a more sultry formula. It's more of a floral solar formula. If you know what the term solar notes means, it's kind of hard to describe, but it's intended to evoke what it smells like to be out in the sun on a hot day, like what the air smells like, which is a little weird. So think of like a light skin smell scent mixed with maybe a little bit of like a tiny beachy aspect to it, with just like the heat of the sun and maybe even like the smell of concrete heated up all in one. Or think of like hot wheat. Hot wheat, like farina, if you ever ate that as a kid, that scent in like a perfume form is a little bit of what I get from Solar Notes. So anyway, I don't think Lust for Sun is for me. I didn't dislike it, but I just didn't feel like I needed it. So, but if you like it, I would say get that. And I would also say if you're into any of the Tom Ford perfumes and you haven't been able to grab those, check the discount sites first. And if not, add those to cart. Killian is another one that you may be able to get cheaper on Sephora during the Rouge sale than on a discount site. Chanel doesn't show up on discount sites often at all. So if there are Chanel fragrances that you enjoy, get them there. And just Seven Virtues in general. Seven Virtues, that line. So there you go. I know this was a long video. I hope you enjoyed the 50 plus recommendations. I think we were pushing into the 60 to 70 product range. I would love to hear what you're getting from the sale or what you're wondering about. Are there any products that you're wondering about that I didn't mention? I'd be happy to give my opinion in the comments if I have used it, or someone else in the comments may have used it and will let you know. So everybody's really good about replying to each other and helping each other out in the comments. Love y'all. Happy shopping. If you don't shop the Sephora sale, it's totally fine. The moon is still going to stay in the sky. The earth is still going to revolve around the sun. It's all good. It's all good. There are other sales. I happen to enjoy Sephora and enjoy shopping the sale. So thanks for hanging out with me. Mwah. Take care. See you next time.